We're going to start today with breaking news coming out of Terraform. 2 new partners have been added. We'll have more on that story during the show a little later on. And now pronunciation is becoming a problem even in my intro. So we're just going to quickly move over before I start saying the wrong words to our intro. So welcome to Week Ended. And we're going to play that. Oh, now I can't find it. You ever have Fridays? I'm definitely having Fridays right now. Like, I'm having stage fright right now in my own show. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. I'm gonna, damn it. Where the hell is it? There it is. All right. I'm out of here. Welcome to the Comics News Wire, where we get our news from the comics newsroom found at comicbookadvocates.com. Fridays just got more anchored as C. Michael Lanning takes over to be the head anchor on Week Ended, and he will be joined by Meredith Logren. Together, they will bring you all the news you need to know from the week. This is Week Ended. They give you the comics news coming off the wire. This show is brought to you in association with
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment and more.
ComicBookAdvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that, and you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like ComicBookAdvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating. Because we love comics. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, everybody, welcome to it. We're going to remove the Terraform symbol and let the anchors introduce themselves. Go ahead.
Well, see, you want to start? You're the lead here.
All right. I'm C. Michael Lanning, independent artist, penciler. I have upcoming projects from Silverline Comics and, of course, Terraform. Also, you can catch me here on Weekend. If you see my face, you know it's the weekend. So, there we go. That's what I got this morning. It's just a bad morning.
It's going to be one of those days. This is going to be one of those shows.
You talk about having the Fridays. It's the Mondays and the Fridays mixed together in there.
My day is just fine, you guys. Don't ruin it, okay? Hello, everybody. I'm Meredith Logren. I am the associate editor over at Geek Insider, as well as the executive producer of the Geek Insider podcast, one of the founding members of Terraform Comics. And we've got a lot of stuff that's happening, and we will get to that. And I'm going to send it back to announcer voice, guys, so that we can get on with the news.
All right, everybody, we're going to examine the week. Full disclosure, I am the one who, as most people know, is generally in charge of making the headlines come to life for our site. And this week, I spent most of my time in a bed because of a back injury. So this is going to be a little different looking of a show. It's a lot more condensed. I went for basically the biggest headlines of the week, the big, strongest stories, and the things that really resonate. I really wanted to stress, including from the indie comics, you're going to see things that are a lot more put together as opposed to our normal show where we have a couple things that we'll add in that don't give you a lot of info. We won't have that today, just because of the week I've had. And with that, I pass back off to Lanning, who gets to run the show.
Okay. Our first news is Marvel kicks off Deadpool's Nerdy 30 anniversary with live virtual event. That's coming to us on February 25th. Featuring, of course, the nerdy 30 years of Marvel and Marvel Unlimited. So that should be interesting. Of course, there's Wade Wilson with his sexy self, I guess. And Marvel,
cool.
Marvel Unlimited annual pass. People who have an annual pass to Marvel Unlimited get to attend for free.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
Look, here's some
I'm
comics.
not exactly sure what I'm looking at, but it looks like a whole bunch of comic covers. All right,
This is that thing that Tom does every week from us from Indiegogo that we've been covering.
Oh, yes, yes. So Justice Chronicles, you've got Abductables, Ignis Quadrant, Dirty Work, At the Crosswords, Thomas Valiant, and Tome of Reckoning. Hashtag comics for everyone. Head over to Indie Comics Connector to find out more, and you'll see more details on these covers if you hit those links and go to Indiegogo.
Got some pretty epic covers in there.
Mm-hmm.
More from DC's Future State. DC's Future State's Justice League teases new roster and series. Future State is shaking up the lineup of so many teams and organizations in the DC universe. So if you want to check that out, go look over at comicbook.com or pick yourself up a copy.
Okay.
Right.
And we're scrolling and scrolling. Demons, Dames, and Scotsman with a Blade. A true comic gem filled with excitement, adventure, and chilling moments. What is this? It looks like Mythica, which is a dark fantasy comic where a kilted Scots soldier and a seductive super spy band together with unlikely allies to fight monsters and demons as World War I rages on around them. Come to Kickstarter February 24th. Click the button to get notified when we launch.
How do you think they came up with a group like that? A Scotsman and fighting demons. It's something about the kilt. It just calls out for.
Actually,
I love
just
a kilt.
The Scottish and the Irish lore has a lot to do with stuff like that, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever look at because think about it, the mermaids, the sea creatures and all that kind of makes sense, actually. Especially over England. England had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and werewolves and vampires. So it kind of actually makes sense. Besides, Scotsmen kick ass.
Hey, my husband's an Irishman. He got married in a kilt. So.
Hey, I like Sean Connery, or at least his acting. Anyway, DC announces Justice League Last Ride Digital First Limited Series. DC Comics has begun to reveal its plans for the coming month. You can check it out on comicbook.com.
Okay.
DC has got a lot going on.
They really do. And here, this is from Michael McAdam. We are pleased to announce that Spectrum #2 has been nominated as Best Comic of 2020 by Sequential Magazine. Please vote and make that nomination come true. Voting is open until March 1st. Head over to sequentialpulp.ca.
Okay.
To find out more. Well, congratulations on the nomination.
Yeah. Oh, and some more DC news. It seems like I keep getting the DC news this morning. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'll handle that. The Flash gets some powerful upgrades and a new suit. DC's Future State stories have brought some significant new takes on characters. So we're going to see what the significant new take that they have on the Flash. Some powerful upgrades, huh? Wow. We can check that out on comicbook.com.
Okay. And this is from Jeff Ryder. It is here. Check out the full trailer of Major Holmes and Captain Watson, number 3 through 4, hitting Kickstarter in 1 week. It's Holmes meets Bond meets Peaky Blinders and more. Make sure that you head over to Kickstarter. Well, okay. So here we go. The whole series is going to be available with new stuff. You can go to their website, majholmes.com, to sign up to be notified on launch day, or go straight to the campaign once it's live.
All right. You see,
Major Holmes and Captain Watson.
It's good to see a Kickstarter make it to issues 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's something to be proud of. Comicbook.com tells us Marvel reveals Elektra made a Daredevil mod to her trademark weapon. As we know, Matt Murdock is currently in prison, and in the pages of Marvel's Daredevil comic series, Elektra has picked up the mantle. So you want to see what that's about? Go check it out over at comicbook.com.
Okay.
And while it didn't make the news, also this weekend news was the fact that, believe it or not, there's a a spoiler with Daredevil being in prison. I won't share it now, but if you're a Daredevil fan, he does something insane with the King in Black crossover that they're going. Also, announcement has been made that King in the Black might be delayed. So if you're following King in the Black, it's just as a note here, guys. Check your local comic book stores. They've begun to delay some of the issues, and there might be a cascading effect that affects your pull sheets for the upcoming weeks.
Okay.
Right.
And this is from Brian Hawkins, Black Cotton. In stores, February 17th, the first issue of Black Cotton from Scout Comics, set in an alternate reality where the social order of white and black is reversed. An elitist family rallies around their police officer's son after he shoots a minority white woman. Go out and get a copy today. And where can we find that? I didn't see a link.
Because that's directly from Facebook and directly from the creator himself on his page, shared to us in our Comics Newswire Facebook group.
Okay, Godzilla vs. Kong unveils new comics and books, including prequels. Godzilla vs. Kong is slated to debut next month after a series of delays, so you know, Kaiju fans. Of course, I have opinions about this. They're controversial opinions, so I'll keep them to myself. But I am looking forward to that movie, so I must be looking forward to the comic books, too. We can check out all that on comicbook.com. Let's see, the monkey's going to win. Anyway.
BD Diddley is sharing I guess this is a cover.
An epic cover. Look at that.
It looks pretty fantastic. I love the action there. I don't know if there's anything else to this, but it looks pretty good. There it is. Concept Moon Studios. Frontline soldiers, always ready for action. See who caught the smoke. Currently, all 3 issues of Frontline Soldiers is available digitally on conceptmoon.com. Head over there.
Nice. X-Men cover reveals the return of a major Powers of X villain. Covers for X-Men number 20 and X-Factor number 9 show the return of the Nimrod Sentinel from Powers of X, as well as Lila Cheney and Dazzler. So
can we just check about how cool it is to hear that Nimrod's coming back? For those who don't know, Nimrod is the super uber big badass Sentinel evolved.
What about Dazzler?
Dazzler's awesome. I love Dazzler too, don't get me wrong. But Dazzler wasn't dead. She's been around for a little bit now in the comic. Nimrod is brand new and coming back. And he was someone that actually the Sentinels have always had a deep history with the X-Men. So this is why it's like a really big moment. If you're an X-Men fan, you're like, uh-oh. Even if you're not reading the book, just seeing them right now, you're like, oh, shit, that's going to be bad.
You can check it out at cbr.com. Yeah.
Maybe I'm aging myself, but growing up, Nimrod was not a cool thing to be called.
Well, he made it cool. I'm just saying. He took the turn back and made it cool. No, he really didn't. He was really like a bad person. The exciting thing is, remember, X-Men can't die right now. Well, there's new rules for their death, but they can be brought back. So Nimrod's going to be really mad when he kills them and they keep coming back. He's going to be so mad. Just that's it. It's going to ruin his day. It's going to be like trying to pronunciate a word.
And you can find more about that story at cbr.com. And we saw this one already for Major Holmes and Captain Watson. Is this me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Teen Titans Red X brings all of the Titans together one last time in the future state era. One thread is so great that the Titans need to call in everyone who's ever been on the team for one last rush.
Whoa.
Very cool.
What would all the other teams that they're on do?
Not a clue. Where can we find this information, Rob? This is on cbr.com as well.
Of course, if you're a Teen Titans fan from the TV show, you're a fan of Red X. So that's always good to see him show up. And how about this from Brian Hawkins writes, if you're heading out to your local comic book store for NCBD, please consider picking up Black Box Comics Devil's Dominion #1 and also pre-ordering Devil's Dominions #4 using Diamond Code Feb 211168.
That is some dark covers. I
sure
love
is.
it. Love it.
I wonder if it has demons in it.
Could be. X-Men Excalibur reveals which mutant is Apocalypse's true heir. One member of the X-Men has been named the true heir of Apocalypse and finds themselves with an important role on Krakoa. And you can find more about that at...
Let's see. Let's take a guess. Comicbook.com. Nope.
CBR.
CBR.com. Yeah. Well, Apocalypse definitely looks like he's getting old. He needs to pick an heir.
It happens to the best of us.
This is from Nima Afshar. Hi, I'm new to the group. I wanted to let you know I'll be doing a video tutorial with example files and printer contact details soon. Watch this space. Why? Because I just invented this. Break. Run. The world's first full-length glow-in-the-dark comic. threefoldcomics.com/break. Free 24-page comic available for download now. Tutorial coming soon. Thanks for having me in this group.
And yes, we are aware this is not the first glow-in-the-dark comic book ever made. Please don't send us an email correcting us. That's what the creators said, not CNW. They're excited. They came up with something that's very rare. Not many people have done it. For those who watched the show long enough know that we carried the algorithm book from 2 years ago now that integrated glow in the dark with other algorithm stuff. Not algorithm. The thing. See, I'm getting my words all messed up. The when you use the red thing, like it's not 3D, but it's the altered state stuff where if you use a red filter over watching it, you'll see something different.
I don't know what it's called. I know what you're talking about.
I do know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called.
Give it up. This is cool. That's it. This is cool. Thank you for sharing it. We're moving on. That's it. We're done.
X-Men. Right. Is this yours or mine?
No, this is you.
Okay. X-Men Marvel teases an exciting new era for Storm in May. The cover for Marauders number 20 promises an exciting new era for fan favorite mutant Storm, as well as a throwback to one of her classic looks. Is she sporting a mohawk?
Oh, that's usual. Mm-hmm. She was known for that mohawk for a long time, so
there you go. You can find more about that at cbr.com.
She's sporting a mohawk, Kitty Pryde's sporting that old costume of hers. We're going retro. See, it's come back around now.
I
don't know if you know this, guys, but she's now considered the Red Queen.
Kitty Hawk, Kitty Hawk, Kitty Pryde, or
Kitty's now the Red Queen.
I saw something about her the other day.
I think we did that last week on the show. So
that might be. But that was last week. I can't remember. I can't barely remember yesterday.
Exactly. I barely remember yesterday.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Wolverine versus Juggernaut. Logan's latest fight officially made Marvel history. Wolverine and Juggernaut just had a no-holds-barred brawl, with one character noting its specific place in Marvel Universe history. You can check that out, of course, on CBR.com, what it has to say. Juggernaut looks positively evil in this picture. So, let you know he is the Juggernaut.
He gets his butt kicked.
So is this basically, No, really? It's
embarrassing bad, but I loved it because I don't
so
like
is this, So is this the, so I guess we'll find out what happens when an unstoppable force hits an immovable object, huh?
We'll see.
That's the Blob. That's the Blob.
You can find more about that at cbr.com.
He said bub, not blob.
And we covered this one already with the glow-in-the-dark cover by Nima. Here we go. DC introduces Batman's newest major villain, Miracle Molly. That doesn't sound too mean. I don't know about you guys, but DC has posted the solicitation covers for Batman number 108, which introduces the Dark Knight's newest foe, Miracle Molly. Head over to cbr.com to find out more.
All right, I have to ask, does anyone else giggle every time you hear solicitation?
Stay out of my corner. That's all I ask.
Oh my gosh. All right. So when the mask goes on, he knows when it's best to stick to the shadows or when it's time to make some noise. Mike W. Belcher's Man in the Mask. You can check that out at www.amkcomics.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike has been at that for a while now, so there's a lot of stuff over there to read if you haven't checked it out yet.
And what's going on here? X-Men Marvel's mutants were betrayed by one of their own again in the latest issues of Hellions. The X-Men team falls victim to the type of betrayal that has become an all too common occurrence as of late. What is going on with them? This is at cbr.com. Find out more there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking we're all suffering from Fridays, Mondays, whatever.
For me, it's just day.
It's what time is it?
I don't care. I don't care what the prefix is. It's just day.
It's just the 10 o'clock Central Times. New Stargirl one-shot from Jeff Johns to debut in May. Check that out at comicbook.com. And, I just started watching this show, and I was really actually surprised at it.
Really?
It's actually pretty good. Yeah.
I've been afraid to hit the play button on that. I don't know why.
Of course, it's a little...
Good.
Yeah, it's a little campy, but it does. I don't want to say it doesn't take itself seriously, but it's not a joke, I guess I could say. It knows what it is. Let me put it that way. It's really good. I was really surprised.
It's a throwback to the classic tales of how comics used to be on television, except taken seriously. It's basically what they did. It's that family show you can sit with everyone in your family. There's some, they're not geared towards like a 5-year-old necessarily, but they could watch it and not get the more adult stuff. And again, I say this a lot. Sometimes the jokes that are meant for adults are meant for adults. Just because you as an adult get the joke doesn't mean your kid got it. And if your kid does get it, they're either the smart one in the relationship or you're doing something really wrong with your kid. So I'm just saying, guys, some of the things are written as adults. As a writer, I write things to be adult deliberately for that.
Mm-hmm. See, and I might get some hate mail for this, but the first episode of WandaVision was rough for me because it was campy, and just sticking through and waiting for the next episode was pretty good. So I was really surprised. So if you say it was a little campy, I can forgive that, and I think I will try and watch Stargirl then.
Yeah, like I said, it knows what it is. It's not many shows that knows what that know what they are. It definitely knows what it is, and it doesn't try to be anything more. It's good. It's good.
Very cool. All right. And we're moving on to Alex Daw. Is this yours or mine? Go ahead. You go with this.
You want me to go with this? All right.
Yeah.
NRG, I like that. NRG is making a goal to break 1,000 and reach 1,200 in our campaign fund goal by this weekend. You can help make this happen by supporting our amazing new series, Zinner, Master of the Mind, or simply by sharing our campaign with your friends and followers on social media. All right. Where is he having this? His
Indiegogo
campaign. Is it Indiegogo?
Is it Indiegogo?
I think I remember him saying that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And of course, I like it because he kind of deals with some mental health issues on that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And here we go with comic book legend Jack Kirby, co-creator of Captain America, The Avengers, X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, and more. Story comes alive at T2Conline.com. Head over there to find out more. Do we have any more information about this, Rob?
You just go to the link. I mean, this is just put in because it's historical, and I'm always telling people to get on it. You know what I mean? Like, pay attention to what we're all talking about when it comes to the history of comics, and this is a moment where you can learn a little bit more about something. So that's actually why I put it in for everyone to consume today. So enjoy. Sign up now.
All right. Get to know the Vash family. Kickstarter coming next month. This is from Dwayne Showtime Robinson. Like, follow, and subscribe at Linktree Animation Comic Cent. If you like
I am not a paid sponsor for Linktree. I'm really not.
But I now own stock thanks to Meredith's constant, relentless backing of them.
I just love when everything's all like centralized. It makes it easy. So
Now-
yeah.
we see a werewolf here, huh?
Now, we did get a message. Someone's asking, did I miss the... Go ahead.
Symphonic Versus?
Yeah, because I was going to pronounce that wrong, and I've had enough today with that. I just had enough.
Okay, I'm stupid because I have no idea what that means, Meredith.
Well,
Not a clue. Not a clue. Symphonic Verses, is that in the news? I guess we're going to find out in a minute.
there's me in the background. That's how angry I am. My actual phone is angry with me.
How dare you, Facebook user? You're making us choose.
No,
Oh, okay. No, it has not shown up yet.
Like that page and check out some of this art. That's part of this. They've got a cool figure.
Nice.
There we go.
Very nice.
Check out the art. So I figured, why not show some love? When someone shows up and asks us, we're going to give them what they asked for because they showed up. Here it is. This will be will be on the Comics Newswire because we picked it up. This was on our Tuesday stuff. It would have been later in the show, but if someone asks and they're watching, we're going to accommodate, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So
it looks really good, guys.
And they have never kickstarted. You have to give them credit. This is why I'm
really
commenting on this.
Wow.
Never kickstarted. This is amazing. So this was over. I'm trying to think which site they did this from because I know that she shared that we were doing it, but we do a different couple groups. But
well, I think I saw symphonicverses.com, so they do have a website.
That's what I was going to actually do. So I put it up here like this.
Yeah, if you scroll over to the scroll down a little bit and over to the left, you'll see their about us and links and stuff.
Sure, make my life easy. How dare you? How dare you? All right, so this is the about. I thought this was really cool hearing that they almost sold 4,000 copies, knowing how hard that is.
Yeah.
Knowing that in the indie market, the independent creators, that is not easy to do at all.
No.
So I wanted to show some love. I wanted to show, and the art is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Check out the art. So did you miss it? No, you didn't. And as a matter of fact, because you showed up, we're going to show a little bit more. They even have something for the IMBD. They have an Instagram. They have a Twitter. So we went a little bit more into it. You guys got to check it out. Super awesome. Here's the shop of the books that they have coming up right now. Look at that, man. Look at the art for these things.
Wow.
Yeah.
It reminds me of those old, well, I say old, they're still doing it, the metal covers. Like, the Cannibal Corpse kind of cover.
Yeah, and if
all
you
this
guys,
stuff happened going on.
If you guys want to go ahead, can you read that?
You want me to get it? Or?
I can.
Okay.
All right, so get ready to be at the center of the ultimate fantasy adventure only from Quantum Entanglement Comics. Enter the world of Symphonic Verses. Symphonic Verses story centers on Crowned Prince Adonis Neos
Latrunculus.
Wow, okay, that was a mouthful. Heir apparent to the divine throne of the Noctium Imperium, he must embark on a treacherous journey through a world of endless enemies and challenges as darkness seeks to drive him to the brink of madness, dragging him down into an unending grief. Everything he once knew and believed has been consumed by the depths of darkness itself, forced to choose between two evils and the women he loves. He seeks to defeat death itself and bring his beloved back from the dead, coupled with loss and tragedy that will lead to a future no one could have imagined, as romanticized darkness influenced and beautifully interwoven as Shakespearean lore, setting the stage in this dark, beautiful, and mysterious, shocking tale. This epic series is told as a tale of love, tragedy, and dark ambition. From opera and mobsters to magical beings and Gothic-inspired metropolis, Symphonic Verses is breaking the mold on fantasy convention. Grab your copy before the anime series hits TV screens worldwide. Wow, okay, that's pretty impressive. Now in production at the Global Genesis Group with music from world-renowned musical composers. Two Steps from Hell, the official Symphonic Verses trailer is coming very soon. Graphic novels have an alternate cover option, so be sure to check out each one and select your favorite. All books come with a high gloss softback cover. And if you
Wow.
scroll down, there are going to be 4. So that is pretty awesome. Wow.
Wow.
So trailer coming soon, and they're working on a series. I'm in.
Nice.
I'm in.
Yes.
Definitely. And that art is just, it's dark and it's beautiful. And it's like, there's so much depth. It's almost like you can dive in and you're in there.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And here you go on IMBD.
Do what?
Mm-hmm. All right. So work in progress there. Very cool. Very cool.
So this also teaches you guys show up to the show, you get a lot more love.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yes.
And I wouldn't mind talking to them also for a Geek Speak. I am scheduling through March right now.
Yeah.
They're impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive.
All right. Moving forward here. So we did touch on this a little bit with Animation, Comics, and Entertainment LLC.
All right.
Here we go. Speaking of IMDb, we have Austin Janowski, actor of Black Veil, and American actor, screenwriter, comic book creator. You know what, Rob? This might be a great time to start segueing into what we're doing with Terraform Comics.
That's why I put it in the rundown today. We're proud to announce entering the Continuum, Dawn and the Dead. Austin Janowski's creation is coming to us. And it is going to be the first 6 pages. We're giving you just a taste, just the tip for this time around. So you guys can get all excited about it and get it when we release it as its own issue later this year through Terraform. The Continuum is coming to you on Valentine's Day. We're showing love to creating a library of creation. And we are going to really entice you guys to be part of this Continuum project. If you're a creator, we want you to jump on board and show us your creations, your stories, your abilities. If you're a colorist and you want to get credits in the book, we'll find a way to work you in and have a way to do it. This is about letting everyone be part of just something big. It allows people to get books, to buy books, to help them have something to sell at their table. So we're pretty excited about this. And again, that'll launch live on our show at the Sunday Comics Brunch. That's right, Sunday Comics Brunch. You're going to be able to enter the Continuum with us as we go live on the show this Sunday. Back to you.
Mm-hmm.
How awesome is that? All right. About as awesome as this. Jack. See, it's all day. Damn it. Zack Snyder's Justice League teaser shows epic black suit Superman footage. About time. We've been waiting for this. The official trailer drops on Compendium Day, also known as Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
You can check all that out at comicbook.com if you really want to get a sneak peek.
Very cool. Comicbook.com, yes.
And of course, the black Superman suit comes from after the death of Superman in the comic books. So we're going to get to see a little bit more of that storyline, it looks like. So I'm excited for that.
It'll be funny if it comes live on the show during Sunday Comics Brunch. You're going to see me and Lanning just suddenly disappear for 5 minutes. Come back like all like little kids smiling. Like, where'd you guys go? Nowhere.
Mind your business, woman, right?
Yeah. Okay. And everything's going to be okay now. We've seen things that tell us that it's over. Everything's going to be just fine now. Matter will come back like, oh, it's so good. Oh, take me now, Lord. Just take me now. It only gets worse for DC. So we'll tell you on Sunday.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. And here we go with Gamal Hennessy. Last week, we talked about the reasons you should consider a crowdfunding campaign for your comic. This week, I'd like to explore the elements of a campaign and how you can put your book in a position for a successful Kickstarter. Head over to globalcomics.com. That's with an X for comics. And check it out. He's got so much information and really benefits the comic book industry and the creators who are in it.
Yeah, you've got to show some love to people to do these type of things to help other creators come up and move forward. I mean, he takes time out of his schedule to do this, to even endorsing some of his own stuff, just so people could understand how to do these things. And so, of course, we love Gamal here, and like when we respect anyone who does the same thing. Good morning, Mike.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Mike. Mike's part of my New Mutants group over at the Comic Book School Challenge this year, the 8-page challenge, which remember, you can get your free copy now going to Comic Book School of the first volume of what will be an ongoing anthology series that we do every year, Comic Book School, doing great stuff with that. And I got to read something that Mike had written, and I'll publicly say it. I was impressed. I was impressed by what he did. I'm trying to give you guys the panel 1. Here it is. So Comic Book School presents Creator Connections panel 1. Panel 2 is now taking submissions. And Mike did a fantastic job with the story that he let me read yesterday as part of the group. I gave him some notes, but I really think that this could be good. We have to see if it fits within the theme. There's a theme this year. And what is that theme? That's a good question. You'll have to go to comicbookschool.com to figure that out. Go there now and join the movement to just make an 8-page challenge come true and prove you belong in this industry by actually getting your work finally published. This will be a published thing. Remember, the person running it, for those who are confused about this is not free work. This is for exposure and to be part of a community thing that helps you network. It's an educational tool. It actually gives you guidance from people within the industry, including Buddy Scalera, who is an amazing creator who's always given back to the industry. So when you get to be part of something like that, and Gamal's actually spoken at Buddy's panels, believe it or not, guys. So there is a connective tissue here to why I'm bringing it up at this point and mentioning Mike. You know, we all rise together in this industry. You leave behind the people who are trying to drag other people down. Sometimes you have to do work that some people will call free work, but if it's for the right people and the right reasons, it's not free work. It's networking work. It's showing that you can work within a community. It's helping build your bridges, and sometimes it's educational. There are a lot of artists out there who are really talented at splash pages and can't do sequential work because they've never admitted out loud, I don't really understand the mechanics behind it. And a writer can kind of guide you on that way with the mechanics behind sequential work. So for those things, I suggest if you are newer creator, a creator who wants more network connections, a creator who wants to give back to the community, join the Comic Book School Panel 2 Challenge, the 8-page challenge this year, and help the industry showcase its talents.
I did want to ask you something about that, Rob, since I already know the answer, but it's for our viewing audience. Now, it's not just comic books, though. Last year with the first one, didn't they have prose?
There was a flash. We'll actually go over to their site. There was actually a flash fiction challenge. Mm-hmm. So, and this year I'm going to be having. I can say already, I have been accepted to officially be in it. I'm going to be part of this. Very excited about that. And I wrote a really good story that Meredith hasn't read yet, but when she does, I'm sure she'll like it because I've given it to her. It's actually some of my best work, honestly. I had said there was only one other project that when I first wrote it, I loved it so much that I wanted to share it with the world. And that one wound up doing some pretty big things and continues to grow and is available nationwide. What that is, I don't know. I forget things sometimes. I can't pronunciate library, apparently. So what do I know? But I'm just a kid from Queens. But to answer your question about this is something that does allow that ability to do prose in what's called a flash fiction format. And if my understanding of flash fiction is it's a smaller contained story, no longer than 1 or 2 pages. And I have already prepared what I will use the flash fiction for is the epilogue to the story that I'm going to have as a comic. How cool is that? So I'll have a comic and an epilogue. And anyone who's been a fan of me for a very long time, when they read that epilogue, they're going to be like, oh my God. And they're going to see something and they're going to be blown away because I believe in symmetry. I'm one of those creators that when I'm making Marvel movies, obscure things from my past will show up within those movies when I'm making the Marvel DC. I'm going to make them all. Marvel, DC. I'm going to make an Image movie at one point. just because check the box, right? It's all boxes, What don't I want to create at this point, Give me the bat dog. I'll make a story that'll make you cry.
Well, now, and for this, they do have a theme. So you have to head over here to comicbookschool.com to find out what that theme is. And, for me, being prose flash fiction has always been anything that's under 10,000. Some people think it's, some people believe that it's under 5,000 or 2,000. And then you have your microfiction, which is under, 1,000 words. But 2 pages from what Rob is saying for the prose. That's kind of how I've been working. I love writing prose, and then this past year trying to script it out so that I can make comic books. It's a really exciting process, and if you're serious about it, there's so much to learn, and this is a really good place to start off because you're going to be working with people who have been doing it for a while. They're established. They know what the heck they're talking about. And then coming in new, I just love that feeling of working together.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I could not agree more. If you're new to the industry, you've been in it a long time, and you know this simple truth, networking and working together matters. It's the people in between who get to a point where they think they're successful, and then they suddenly realize they're starting to stand all by themselves because ego kills careers, guys. Telling other people what to do early in their career based upon what you want and you think is right suddenly is not always good advice for new people. You have to understand, for newer creators, these are gigantic opportunities. This is literally going from no one knows my name to suddenly I can say I worked with Buddy Scalera, Rob Anderson, Ari Alexandra, and all the other great, including Aaron, who's our editor, did an amazing job. Meredith is going to be joining our ranks, hopefully. Maybe we'll get Lanning in there. Call him C. We'll get him in there, too, because the goal is to get as many people as we can. And I've said this. This comic book school is a great place to start, and then we're going to try to get everyone who's starting in there to come on over and enter the continuum with work. So this is the continuum is like the part 2. After we get new creators to go through there, we're going to invite them in. Hey, why don't you bring stories to us? We'll help you. We'll help to get you. And of course, the difference here is that this is going to strive to be a free downloadable thing. Like the first one was a free download. You can get it right now. The second one is going to be the same. So as long as there's not a monetary reason, it'll be free. The continuum is meant for profit, right, Meredith? Mm-hmm. Did you want to do that now or at the very end of the show? Because we're close to the end at this point.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, let's wait. I'll let you go with the flow.
I just know where we are now in the pacing, and we have 10 minutes of news if we actually just hustle through it.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Right. And we've talked about the continuum today, but make sure you hit that notify me button and see the beginning pages of the Eclipse and what's coming from that. You're going to be able to enter the continuum, changing the landscape of comics one story at a time. And we already saw this. Again, this is just from different groups. This we talked about on Sunday. Didn't you bring this up, or was it Chuck?
No, this was Chuck. Chuck brought it up.
Okay, but you can grab this for me if you don't mind.
Sure, Ultimate Spider-Man collection to be sold under heart-wrenching conditions. After 50 years of devoting his life to Spider-Man, Steve Levine is selling his 1.4 million plus collection as he battles terminal cancer and seeking to make a way for his family. So that you can check that out on Hollywood Reporter, and just goes to show you, man, you never know what's going to happen, and even comics can help pave ways to ensure that your loved ones are taken care of after you're gone.
That's why I hold on to my collection. I figured Jax will have something. This was supposed to be on Tuesday's news, so we brought over all the news for Tuesday when I could not get up in the morning. So this all started on Tuesday. When that was it, I went to stand up, and to full disclosure, I fell down to the ground. My leg was in so much pain it couldn't support my own weight. I went crashing down, hurt my knee a little bit. Luckily, nothing too serious, just enough that it got swollen. Thank you for nerve damage in that moment. I never felt the pain of the nerve for the knee. It just swelled a little bit, but it was a bad morning. I couldn't get to do the Tuesday show, Wednesday. We didn't even do Backer Pause, which, by the way, right now, Backer Pause got rescheduled to be part of Sunday. It's going to be a huge day. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have open mic where people can come in and even be part of that. I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, Thursday, we were going to do a special, but I figured I'd rather rest up so I could make sure I made Friday's show. And I had to do a lot of catching up yesterday. Meredith knows that. I was like getting a lot done because it was the first time in days I could sit in a chair long enough to actually type. I was doing most of the work from my my bed, which is fine when you're writing. There are certain things I can do from my bed, but and Meredith will know that she works on websites. You need a mouse and a stable platform to work on your sites for the copy and paste aspects. You cannot copy and paste with a laptop as easily when you're in your bed on pillows. Plus, then all of a sudden you get all sweaty from if you put it on your lap, the laptops get hot. It's not cool. See the wordplay?
No, it's actually quite hot.
Yeah, see, like wordplay?
Very hot.
It's hot and it's not cool. Ha ha. See. I must be a writer. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say we had a great time on Freaky Friday, and that is the first Friday of every month. So
we didn't even talk about the topic. Meredith, please. I'm sorry. I totally forgot to talk about Freaky Friday.
It was sexuality in writing. We had it was you, Rob Anderson, myself, Nita Lanning was there. It was just the three of us, wasn't it?
Marvy.
Oh, Marvy was there. Yes. And that surprised the heck out of me because I didn't know he wrote erotica. So, and we were talking about the difference between erotica and porn in writing. And, just tune in. It was a great conversation, really a lot of fun, a lot of information, and talking about adult things as adults, not being a delinquent about it. So, yeah. Definitely tune in. And that was on Comic Book Advocates Network as well as Geek Insider. So tune in and hit the subscribe button for both channels if you can.
Absolutely. And then Marvy, if you're watching this, go draw. We're all waiting for Sin Killer.
Yes, we are. The Sin Killer coming soon. And follow his YouTube also. He's been putting up some previews of his artwork.
Looks good.
Yes, it does.
This is from Thomas Eek.
Editor-in-chief.
Okay.
I wish he would capitalize that.
Please. That is good. I thought it was his middle name. It's like, well, that's an interesting name. Eek. Eek from old. The prophecy speaks. Okay, so we've hit 2 stretch goals, and we are hoping for a 3rd and maybe 4th before the end of the weekend. Help us make it happen. This is for Near Reborn, I hope. Now it's time to hit those stretch goals. The next chapter of Near's adventure.
Yep.
That was a little hard to see.
He's coming to...
Sorry, that was a quick scroll for some reason. I had mouse delay, and all of a sudden it went way too fast.
No, on the advertisement, he has that red lettering, and I can't...
I got you. The next chapter of Nira's adventure is here. No. Now it's time to hit those stretch goals. So are they putting her on a rack to stretch her? Oh, wait. They meant funding goals. Sorry, my bad. Dirty minds.
First click. Second click. No.
And speaking of Thomas Doherty, I've got him and Bill Mouse coming to Geek Speak on, let's see, the 22nd. February 22nd.
Right.
We got 10 days away. So, and that's it. We're talking about Nira X Reborn issue number 2.
I really think Lanning should read this because I don't think Meredith's going to like this one. I can almost see it on her face right now. She's looking at it. I don't know if we're safe having her read it. See?
I don't know if I want this type of controversy.
Do it.
Newswatch, a new look at graphic novel, Girlsplaining, a sort of memoir. Here's our first look at Girlsplaining, a sort of memoir by cartoonist Lev Vinova, tackling subjects that have shaped her. You can check that out at comic-watch.com. And can I ask a question? All right. Now, talk about controversy. Why is it girlsplaining? Why is it not womansplaining?
And that was when Lanning got canceled. All of a sudden on our show, they just reached in and grabbed him. It was amazing. Well, it's not. He was done. I don't know what happened. It's a good question, though. In all honesty, that's the same thing I thought. And I thought it was just me. I really thought it was just me. I'm like, should it be woman? Nope, I'm not going down that road because then you get canceled. That's how you get canceled.
No, because this is about female empowerment. You don't cancel female empowerment.
But you're mansplaining now. They're going to turn around and say you're mansplaining. They're like, you're mansplaining, girlsplaining?
Yeah, I mean, why isn't it boysplaining then?
Yeah, that's my point. Why is it boysplaining?
You know what it is? And this is it. Women are trying to walk away from the term women because there's a man in it.
Oh,
see,
wow.
And I totally embrace it because I'm
worry
like,
about
whoa, man, you know? I do. I embrace it. Whoa, man.
I know I'm always in trouble. I don't know if you can survive it yet, see. I know I can. There's a reason they call me the uncanny one.
Okay, my goodness. Cradle of Filth to launch new comic book series plus action figures. Read more. Cradle of Filth to launch. And where is that launching from?
Cradle of Filth? No, I'm not.
Yes. All the filth you could ever hope for. Yes. You can find more about that at loudwire.com.
Sometimes, you know,
I want the definition of their of filth. Their definition of filth. What is that?
I don't know, because they've got some like cool songs, right? Like they got some good songs that I wouldn't call filthy. And some of the things they call filthy, I call fun.
There you go. So
but I mean, it's cool to see the crossover of music and art always.
Yeah. And we've been seeing more and more of that coming. I mean, it's always kind of been there, but it just seems to be more in our I don't know how to say it exactly, but I'm seeing more and more of it in my social media and stuff where it might not have been. It just seemed to be more in pockets of interest and things.
Well, comics are on the rise, so now you're going to see everyone and their mother trying to come back in to cross-promote. We won't see as many people trying to make movies through comics, but you'll see, like, now that Keanu Reeves jumped in last year, you're going to see bands. You're going to see wrestlers. Watch the wrestling start to pick up. You'll see other avenues that we wouldn't even think of. We're going to talk about Godzilla in just a few minutes. But speaking of seeing more, Steve, you're up.
Into the Suck, number 6, featuring the cover J, Most Wanted. The artist on this cover was a very nice cover, Jesse Wickman, and colors by Tavon. It's available now. Check it out. The Jesse Wickman and Tavon Most Wanted cover J is now available as an add-on. It's a scorchingly sexy cover featuring the ladies of Into the Suck, Emery, Ursula, and Nina. Get it while it's hot and get it cause it's hot. And is that on Indiegogo or...
No, that is definitely Kickstarter. And
Kickstarter?
It is, I want to say, what is it, the 14K mark? Does it say it on this? Like, they're either at 14,000.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Doesn't say. That's why I couldn't even see Kickstarter.
You know, and Keith Thomas, the creator of this series, of course, has passed on. I love the fact that we've gotten to tell the whole story with Stevie Zane taking over the reins and me helping to promote it like we promised him. He would be so proud to know that his project has raised, I think it's either 14 or 16, just amazing. An amazing amount of money for a single issue. Not a trade, just wait till we get to trade. Trade, you might be talking about 20, 30 grand for the entire series together. It's going to be amazing. Keith, this one was for you.
And we're moving on to X-Men spinoff X-Corp makes its long-awaited debut this spring. So what are they doing? Marvel announced the long-awaited X-Men spinoff X-Corp will finally debut in May from writer Tini Howard and artist Alberto, is it Fauci?
Fauci, I guess.
Fauci? Okay.
Sure, yes.
Whatever. I would say folk, but anyway, you can find out more about this if we can scroll down just a tiny bit more. We'll find out more about, is it going to be CBR? CBR.com.
And let me tell you, if you have not read Tini Howard, she's a fantastic writer. And if you ever get a chance to interview her, I would. I even have a independent comic by her called Euthanauts, kind of about exploring death. She's a very excellent writer.
And
all right.
But Rob, Into the Suck, they're right now at $15,027 with 289 backers. and they still
Wow.
have 16 days to go. So
They're gonna hit the
kicking
300.
butt.
Yeah, they'll make at that rate they'll make $17,000 to $18,000, probably $340 in backer count by the merits that they've been going by. Because I'm pretty good at judging that, because the end's that's gonna have a huge surge in the end and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Really quickly, Meredith, were you asking me to help you with pronunciation? I know that's not what you were doing, right?
Last names always get me because you just never know.
A cover's so nice, we showed it twice for two very big reasons. Moving on.
HBO Max boss Casey Bloys has commented on how closely connected the untitled Gotham Central series will be to the Batman, strongly indicating that we can expect to see the same characters in both projects.
That's kind of cool to see connective tissue going to HBO.
I tell you, I'm looking forward to Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. I think he'd be an excellent Commissioner Gordon. Just excellent.
And this one's perfect for Meredith.
Is that because I'm old? The Three Stooges go back to the future in new comic. The Three Stooges revisits their past iterations and provide fans with all the eye pokes and yucks they've come to expect over the decades.
Go ahead, Steve. I know you want to do a knock knock. You can't help it. You can't.
Go ahead.
My son saw the Three Stooges. He started loving it, and then all of a sudden I started getting hit, and that was the end of him watching Three Stooges.
I think every kid goes through that phase now, huh?
You can find that at screenrant.com.
That's amazing to see the staying power the Three Stooges have. You can still see them around today.
Yeah.
All right. Finally.
Speaking of staying power.
Newswatch, DC Comics reveals first wave of new Milestone comics. Milestone returns, Infinite Edition number 0, Static, Digital First Miniseries, Con and Rocket. Digital First Miniseries, Hardware, and Digital First Miniseries all over their place. So let's look for Milestone returns. And of course, you might know Static as what progressed into being the Static Shock TV show. And I hear that they're actually thinking about making a movie. So let's hope that comes. They're actually doing it?
Michael B. Jordan is the producer of it right now.
All right. Excellent. Yeah, he's got his hands in a lot of stuff now. And that you can check that out on comic-watch.com.
Mm-hmm.
This one, if you don't mind, I'd want to take.
Go ahead.
All right. So this I thought was pretty cool that made the news. This is about Denise Scott Brown's life turned into a mega comic. What I liked about it was reading the article. It was part of its mission to raise awareness of immigrants, contribution to the United States. For those who don't know, my mother was an immigrant. She passed away last year. Came over from World War II. At the end of World War II, my grandparents migrated here from the Ukraine, which was devastated by the war. They don't talk about it, but a lot of Ukrainians were killed, were tortured. My grandmother was put in tar pits to be contained and to make them work better and to make them not as hungry. It was abuse that led her to have a lot of strokes. I'm very proud of my family that came over here. I know my grandmother would be one of the people who cleaned offices and was part of the janitorial staff. And a lot of people I don't think know that about me. And it's not that I ever hide it. I will talk about it all the time. I'm very proud to have come from immigrants, and I look at things very differently. And my family only just came over for one side. My family speaks fluent Ukrainian. In the last couple of years, I think immigrants, especially the ones coming over legally, have been put under a wrongful lens. These people who come over here, whoever they are, can add to our culture. Look at pizza. Look at a corned beef sandwich. Look at all the Italian food that we get to eat. America's food got great because of immigrants. Okay. We cannot close the idea that we have something to learn from the world around us. And stories like this are so powerful. I'm not going to get into the political border, how you let immigrants in. That's not important to me. All that's important is that we still allow immigrants in. I don't care how you make it happen. Just make sure it happens.
My mother is an immigrant. She became a naturalized citizen. My daughter-in-law just at the end of 2020, she became a U.S. citizen. So, I mean, this is a very important story, I think, in raising the awareness of it and their story, the timetable, their struggles. You know, I mean, there's a lot to it. So, and I think it's really cool that they took Scott Brown's life and did this. It's a tribute, a really nice tribute.
And it shows, and the important thing is it shows a different side. Mm-hmm. Life is about sides. It's not a flat surface. It is, what is that thing with all the bumps on it? The shape that's got like the triangles, but it's like a giant circle with a bunch of pyramids on top of it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I want to call it a plexicon, but I don't think it's the plexagon.
Like a kaleidoscope?
No. There's an actual shape that almost looks like sometimes viruses. I'd have to look it up, and I don't even know how to look it up because I don't know its damn name. But basically what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of curves and contours to what is life and people's experiences and things like this. If you see something and go, I shouldn't read that. That's not for me. That moment is a moment where you should read it just once. If you've never read something in that vein, that type of genre, that type of media. Like I've heard people like, well, I don't really want to read about let's say a homosexual relationship. That used to be big in comics, right? We used to hear that 10, 20 years ago. I don't want to hear that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were good enough to get over themselves, read those books. And now it's one of the best-selling genres out there because people were like, hey, it's just a human story. It always amazes me how people will read stories about aliens from another world, but when it's humans and it's not just like them, they suddenly balk. And that was the power of Star Trek, for those who don't know. Using aliens as figures was showing you to look at humans not as aliens, but as just people. And it was the most brilliant thing that he did when he started that show. We're still learning that lesson, sadly, to this date. Products like this get us to see a different side of life, because just because you don't do it doesn't mean it can't be interesting. The only things I don't like is horror, and that's because, listen, I get my horror every day from CNN. I don't need a horror book. I got it all coming in live 24/7.
Well, I just wanted to read this bottom here. So that is from the Vilchik Foundation, and they've created the manga starring Denise Scott Brown. So head over to Dezeen, DEZEEN.com and find out more.
And here we go, the last bit of news for today.
All right. Like to laugh? What a fun comic. Well, here you go. Catch the Crazies, issue number 2. Be careful what you wish for. Follow the adventures of Sam and Jorge and dive deeper into the world of the Crazies in the second issue of Catch the Crazies. Of course, that's over on Kickstarter, and they should be ending pretty soon.
I was going to say, I think they might be on their last day or two.
I think it ends today. Let me check. Hold on.
Okay.
They have 11 hours to go.
Yeah, we're having a reload of our site.
Yep.
Bear with me for 1 second.
They did really good for their second issue. They've gotten, looks like about 200% of what they were asking. Mm-hmm. So that's real good.
Very awesome.
Yeah. And they did a great job. And
help them out on backer paws, huh?
Yeah. Speaking of great jobs, one thing I'm going to give it to Meredith. Talk about your book while I fix what's going on with the site at the moment.
Which one?
Well, the one starting on Sunday. Part of the continuum?
Yes. All right. So we've got C and I have got Reapers, which is going to be part of the continuum, and I was going to pass the mic to C because to read the pitch, because it's not. I don't. That's a discussion that I would love to have, is the different pitches and how it sounds coming out of different mouths. But I can read it, see, because I saw you go off camera here.
Well, I'm here.
We can, if you want that, we can actually do that coming up. Mm-hmm. In not this Sunday, obviously, because we have a lot going on.
We have a lot going on this Sunday.
Next Sunday, while we're live, that's actually an interesting thing, because I have had this conversation with people. Sometimes how you say it is so different. We were just talking about dialect today. The New York accent, the way it sounds, saying something from one person might sound something very different. A male can go like this and say, thrilling adventures are coming. And then you get a girl who has a very feminine, very sweet voice, and thrilling adventures are coming isn't the same.
It doesn't sound, yeah.
You know? So that's an interesting topic, but here you go.
All right. Reapers. When spirits can be harvested and sold for energy, the ragtops must navigate psychic vampires, alien reverends, and other money-hungry groups to reap that sweet, sweet spiritual gold. And that's from Meredith Lochran and C. Michael Lanning.
And we've got more news coming up, but hey, this is so exciting. And you know, part of the reason why it was exciting is because we had joined in the Terraformed Continuum Facebook group, and C and I, we were kind of orbiting around the same circles in a way, but it wasn't until we started participating in the threads that we were like, hey, you want to work together? Because he said, hey, I've got the clay of a story. And I was like, well, I'm kind of interested in trying to write that, because I think, see, you had these images in your head. You kind of knew what you wanted to draw.
Well, I've always kind of wanted to touch on the rockabilly type style. I'm interested in subgenres and subcultures and stuff. So that was one that always interested me. And so it gave me a chance to be able to do that. So.
And so by speaking to each other and really collaborating, I don't even want to say it's the Marvel way. I mean, we kind of went our own way as far as going back and forth with the story, with the ideas, and then, you know, seeing the art and how that progressed. This was originally 4 pages, and the story behind that, we've shared it a few times, was, you know, Rob kind of pulled us into the room. Or he pulled me into the room and he says, what do you think of the art? I said, I love it. The line art, just the images, it's perfect. And he's like, yeah, but did you read the script with it? And I was like, you know, because I wrote it. And I was like, and he says, there are some pieces in here. There are some opportunities where you can kind of, where it would benefit to get the in-between. And so what started off as 4 has now become 6 pages, and I'm really excited to showcase this. I cannot wait until you get the Continuum in your hands. It's going to be so good, because we've got it's more than this story. There are 5 creative teams in this who have stories in here. Rob, go ahead.
I was going to ask, did you want to be the one to make the announcement?
No, I'm gonna pass that to you. Because
well, I'm not going to be holding it long, as you know. All right, so here it is. This is why we were updating the site, because I'd done an update, and for anyone who wants to watch this video live, there was a glitch that caused something to happen, so we lost some of the stories. Don't worry, I'll re-update them after the show. So the stories that did get lost during whatever just happened, the glitch, I can fix that. That's why you were seeing the CV Zane stuff so often. Something had gone wrong with the site.
Oh, so interesting.
It was reproducing. We have that error every so often. It's not a huge deal. I just have to go back in. There's an open source code that causes a repeat, but when you update it, it causes a problem. Hence why we took the Reaper's break that we were going to take anyway. But this was that breaking news that we teased about at the very beginning of the show that we've kept till now. So here it is, the breaking news. This is coming out of Terraform, which, of course, full disclosure, because I always see that. Full disclosure, we are part of blah, blah, blah. Well, full disclosure, I am a founding member of Terraform ComiX, as is Meredith. And I'm proud to announce today that Terraform ComiX has 2 new partners. And the first partner can't be with us today, so we're going to talk to him. Talk about him. This is MJS art of Mike Seeley. I was going to call him Mark for some reason. I'm actually having early dinner, late lunch today with him. We're going to be talking about comics. He joins us as our marketing guy. He's going to be heading up the marketing branch of Terraform ComiX, and of course, that's his title. But we're all hands on deck. We're a new company, and a lot of people might be like, "Well, why does a publisher need that?" Well, remember, and I stress this to everyone, Terraform, we call ourselves Terraform ComiX LLC. We're not just a publisher. That's what the Continuum is about. We're so much more. And this is going to be expanding this year. Terraform Comics to have imprints, one of which was Meredith's idea, so I'll let her talk about that one. And then there was Sandbox. Sandbox, I think, was a mutual one that everyone wanted to do. Everyone wanted to have Sandbox. And Mike is joining us to help make these things happen. And Mike J. Seeley is a comic book illustrator who was known to but I'm known to dabble in other artistic mediums. He's had things like on my page, you've seen it. He's done murals, actually, locally here in Fort Myers, Florida. He has been published in various comics, produced and cover arts, storyboards for TV series, and he's been part of animation projects. He's regularly contracted by Marvel, Warner Brothers, and DC projects, along with Upper Deck and Kryptonis. I know that.
That's supposed to be Cryptozoic.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right because I can't pronunciate anything apparently, as well as Lucas Arts projects with Topps. So he is fantastic. I'm so happy to call him a partner. He's going to be joining us founders as making the decision makers and making. This is Terraform's second year, so in year 2 we're continuing to expand. We made mistakes. We're going to continue to make mistakes. You can't change the landscape of comics without making mistakes. We made the continuum. Here it is. Sunday we launched. Super excited about that. We're excited to have you join us for this amazing moment. I'm sorry Mike couldn't have been here for the announcement, but you'll be seeing him more. He was just on the show when we announced everything about this project the other night on Meredith's Geek Speak, where the special we didn't have to have this week because Meredith actually had the special for me. She beat me to it by Monday. So on Thursday when we had to cancel the special, I was like, I don't really feel bad. There weren't any Comic-Cons this weekend. Valentine's Day in a normal year does not have conventions, generally speaking, because everyone knows better. But this year especially, no one tried. So it was a week we could take off, but Meredith did a great job, and you got to meet Mike Seeley. And we've always wanted 7 members to be in charge of the Terraform brand. 7 people in a room get 7 different ideas, and we're welcoming him to it. And another person I'm very proud to announce as a partner of our group is actually in the room. C. He doesn't know. We just made it right now on live television. And what we're putting him in charge of is the bills. No.
Well, it's going to be formerly Terraform Comics.
Yeah.
You put me in charge of the bills.
No.
Now owner's bank of Chase Bank.
C will be in charge of our actual promotional materials. He's going to be heading up to make sure that we get the best art that we can. And again, we're a company that's growing. So just because we have these titles doesn't mean we don't work with each other on every aspect of this. He's going to be an integral part of this. He's going to give us his not only artistic point of views, but we've seen it on the news. He's a giant fan of comic books. He's been reading them for years. He understands them from a fan point of view, and he's an amazing artist. The art that you guys are going to be seeing coming from this gentleman is amazing. I'm going to let him take over now, but when we get back, Meredith, I do want you to talk about the last bit of news from Terraform, the other imprint that we're announcing later this year. But Michael, take it away. We're going to put you up in a position. Hold on. I'm just going to I'm trying to see if I can get you in the screen share where you can be with it by yourself. I can't move it anymore. There used to be a time when I could move it. Hold on. Let me move you into the right position, and you can read your own.
Oh, can I? Oh boy. Let's see.
And you can add anything you want too. You're live.
Oh, you're going to have my opinions now. Be sure of that. I am a former Louisiana swamp monster that converted into an independent artist after realizing used bayou water could not be sold as a delicacy. I've done work. I'm doing work and have done work for Silverline Comics, including penciling the upcoming book, The Rejects with Roland Mann. And currently, I'm moving into the future with eyes on more upcoming projects like Reapers, which is my first ever comic story coming to life. That will be my first sequential publishing credit. So definitely check it out. And of course, now I have invested interest being a new partner for Terraform Comics, which I'm really excited about. I believe in what they do, and I believe in other artists and pushing them out there. So that hopefully this will help me forget my failed foray into the mineral water market. That's a hard,
Rob,
hard racket.
Here. Let's see. Get you off of the big screen there.
Are you doing it? Because I hate when we on each other. That's why
Yeah,
sometimes
no.
I wait.
I was
when you
going
start
to ask you
talking.
too. You know, here's the thing. When we were looking at bringing in more partners and stuff, in my head, I was definitely going to nominate C, but it felt really biased. And so I'm so glad that Luke and Rob were like, C was one of the first names out of their mouths. And I was just like, yes, they've got my vote. So yeah, I am so glad to have them on board. Just the work ethic, which you cannot, I don't think that you can train work ethic. I think it's in you. And just seeing that, the passion for comics, everybody who's in this group is just so passionate about getting stuff done, working together. And I'm really proud to have Mike Seeley and C. Michael Lanning join us. And so the next imprint, and I'm so glad. So that Geek Insider, we had Geek Speak, and we had the Terraform Comics, most of the group there, and it was a really great conversation. I'm so glad Luke Stone was there because he let it out of the bag, the two imprints that we were talking about. First one, Rob said, was Sandbox, and that's kind of the all ages imprint that we're doing. We weren't really going to talk about the next one until much later because we really wanted to have some products. We wanted to have some books up with Continuum right here on the verge of being launched. I guess he felt okay with doing that. And that is Subterra. And that is more of the adult kind of underground topics that we're going to be talking about. Those are the comics that really deal with those adult themes, like 17 and over. And part of the reason why I pushed for that, and Rob, I don't know why Rob didn't, because he's got Barbara Unleashed, he's got the BDSM survey, he's been kind of in that field, and maybe he felt like me nominating C, it just didn't feel right. So I said, that is something, those are topics, those are books that I want in Terraform, and why not? I don't want to be limited. And so we put together these ideas for these imprints. And if you are looking to collaborate with other creators who are going to take those themes seriously, and I'm not talking like the TNA books necessarily, I'm talking if it's horror, if it's really gore and really kind of leaning more towards an adult audience, that is where Subterra can be your home. I am so happy that Rob is going to bring Barbara over. And
We didn't announce that.
Oh, didn't we? I did. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess that just got announced. Okay.
That just got announced. But you know what? I mean, I'm so glad because she's got a home. And I am really ecstatic about that, because anybody who hasn't read it ought to. It is surprising, and really, quite honestly, I think it's one of the first interviews that I did with Rob. And I think I got on your radar because of that, Rob, because we read your book and asked smart questions, and I think that kind of got us on that path.
Yeah, and to answer the question, and Luke is saying it actually. He's in the chat room right now. Subterra Comics, Smart Comics.
Smart Comics for grown-ups. Yes,
basically
I like
what
that.
it is. It's not meant to be anyway just an excuse to do anything we want. It's not going to be rails off. While it would be more of the underground comics, it's not going to be let's push everything we can. The reason I never would have approached it, and this needs to be said, just because I've heard this, and I would have been on camera, but I didn't prepare for camera today because of my back. And Jack's actually had a nightmare last night, so he's been home with me. My sister's been nice enough to watch him during the show, but I'm just nowhere in camera. But I need this to be said and heard. I am not Terraform. I am part of Terraform. Terraform is not mine. And the last thing I wanted to do was start slapping my stuff all over this and have anyone assume I run anything. Even when it comes to Continuum, I don't run the Continuum. I am one of the people behind the idea. I'm one of the people who has done a lot with it, with Meredith, lockstep. every way. Me and Meredith have met about everything the whole way, and we've been overseen by Luke. This is deliberate. This is not one person's vision. That's why there are 7 people now in the room. It's not one person's vision. It's 7 people coming together to change the landscape of comics from 7 different points of view. One of the things I liked about C is he's got opinions, and those are important. Same thing with Seeley. I'm excited to work with these people. I'm excited every day to show up and hear the passion of Varian, who we had a great conversation with, and we can't wait. But I need that to be stressed. That's one of the reasons I wouldn't have ever picked to even try to do Subterra for years with Terraform. It was Meredith. That's Meredith's baby. And she wanted to be able to have that, and then it just took off, and it was like, yeah, we're also going to be showing you a rating system, because one of the things the video game industry did really well was self-regulate. Self-regulation versus the comics code is the way to go in comic books, and that Terraform books will start to have a rating system that is being pre-approved now. So even this book will not be considered, while it's released from Terraform, might not always be considered the continuum as a all ages. It will have different ratings depending on what's being launched in that continuum issue. Go ahead, Meredith.
And I want to piggyback on something. I've got an echo. Hold on. I think Robbie's like coming in the mic.
I don't think so. I'll mute.
Yeah, no, that's better. Okay, so I wanted to piggyback off of something that Rob said earlier, and that was the fact that he is not Terraform. Terraform is not him. I've said this really early on when we were putting Terraform comics together, that just because I have a story doesn't guarantee that it's going to be in Terraform, because we have a collaborative process where we're bringing in stories, we're bringing in art, we're talking to people, and we are open to helping people learn the process too. And that's the beautiful thing about Continuum, is that you are bringing new creators and working with established creators, and your stories will be matched up. Maybe not on purpose, but just how it comes in. I mean, it is purposeful. Don't get me wrong. But as these stories come in, as people are pitching their stories and working with us, that whole collaborative process is really like egos out. Leave your egos at the door. You're coming in, and that's to learn, because we want everybody to step up. And when I meant by just because I have a story, I can pitch it anywhere I want to, because I'm not limited by Terraform Comics. And everybody in the group realizes that this is an opportunity to level up and bounce. Of course, we want you to stay. Of course, we want to build our library. It's one of those things that is one of our fundamental goals, is to build this this catalog of creation and bring creators together from all over the world. The fact that we've got Russ Leach, we announced that before, so I didn't out anybody. We've got creators like Austin Janowski, Mike Seeley, and C now on board. This is, I am new to comic books, the industry, but this is the passion that we have for all of these things, that to create and be something for creators, by creators, and really walking the walk and talking the talk. Rob, I'll send it back to you. Or C, do you have anything else you wanted to add? I mean, because you've watched our journey, you've watched us kind of create this thing, and now to have a seat at the table, Yeah,
it's just awesome that you can have. Did you need those type of groups where they'll tell you what they think, and you grow from that? If you put aside differences, and you can grow from that opinion, from that criticism. So it's really great to be a part of that, and to see that happen. So yeah, absolutely.
And I'm very excited. Like I said, and Subterra, when I walked into the group, and because I talked to Rob about it first, I said, I really want this. And he says, are you sure? He says, we don't know what the reception is going to be for that with the other partners. And I was just like, I'm going to try. And hopefully, they'll see the reasoning behind it, because there are books with these types of topics that don't have a home, and they really should. And why not Terraform? If we're changing the landscape of comics, why not bring them here?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the name of it. I love the name of the Subterra. I love the name of Sandbox. It's just.
And Sandbox is fun. I mean, that's where the kids go, know?
Yeah, they get to build the sand castles, and they're on form of terraforming.
Yep.
And again,
but I see Rob in the background. What are you doing back there?
You see me? Oh, I thought that was on the video. No. You had said any closing things. I can't stress this enough. Terraform is about the best product possible for the consumer. That has always been the goal. That's one of the ways we're changing the landscape. Luke Stone, which we're going to be playing his Indiegogo video on our way out today, who's on Indiegogo right now, is part of this as well, who's not here in the room right now, but he gets the acknowledgement of being one of us, as does Varian Grant, Mike Seeley, who we just showed, and of course, Eric Hodson, all amazing creators. And it's all different points of view. And we're going to continue to push hard and fast to a quicker and quicker outcome. Like we did a lot last year that you didn't see, a lot of things that had to be done in the background. It is definitely something that we are taking serious. And as you can say, Luke Stone saying Sandbox Comics is going to be great. We got to get new comic fans, and it starts there. And he's absolutely right. And this is all about bringing the best ideas to the table. And sometimes there are things that you'll never know that I never voted on that are now there. Once the vote is done, that's it. We're all equal in that room. Everyone gets a vote, and it's how it should be done in a democracy. Everyone gets to talk about how they feel. Everyone puts it out there, gives the facts. Everyone votes, and then that's the end of it. It ends there. The vote is the vote. Whatever comes out, everyone, it's like a team. It's a true team where everyone comes out of the room with the same message and the same point of view. And that's because we all trust in each other. And I can't stress that anymore. And this Sunday, you're going to see the hard work, some of the hard work we've been doing, the continuum starting on Sunday. Remember, you can join the Facebook group Terraformed Continuum. That's where we're terraforming ideas to go into the continuum. Join it today. We've had an upswing in that. I'm very, very happy about all that. And that is it. We are out of here right now. I appreciate all you guys for showing up today, being part of this. We are going to show Luke Stone's video on the way out. Before that, I'm going to ask anyone for closing remarks as part of the show today. Did you guys want to add anything from something you saw today or anything like that? Because we actually, for once, have a little extra time on our close.
No, I just want to say I really want everybody to head over to the Terraform Comics, enter the Continuum Kickstarter, hit the notify me on launch button. I really want to see that number grow. Get notified. Head over there now. Do it now.
Go. What are you waiting for? You're still here? Go.
Well, not before you watch Luke's video.
Oh, right. Stay. Watch this.
Stay.
Then go.
Then go.
Do you have anything that you wanted to add to?
No, I'm just excited for the future, of course,
I did have one more thing to add, but go ahead, see. I didn't.
No, you know what? It was just going to be how much I hate the mineral water market, and that's all. Go ahead.
Well, part of our celebration of launching the Enter the Continuum through Terraform Comics, Nita Lanning and I have decided that we are going to, because, we are like full on into Reapers. We're doing Reapers for Reapers. So you want to tune in to our new YouTube channel. It's called Ragin, and we put up links. We do our daily vlog because we're like our accountability partner. But at the same time, I think we might be trying to kill each other with these things. So Carolina Reaper, we're going to do it live after Sunday Comics Brunch. That'll be 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. Watch us try and kill each other as we launch the Continuum.
All right.
All right. So with that, that's the end of today's show. Personal apology just for me for this week and not being able to get you all the news I normally would have, all the programming I could. Can't control it, but I still feel bad about it, and we'll be back here, God willing, on Monday. We'll be here Sunday, of course, for our Sunday Comics Brunch, which is a completely different show. But the Newswire will be back on Monday at 11 for Mondays in the Know. It's actually the one show I got done this week. It'll be back next Monday, where we'll be talking about the progress of actually the continuum and how you guys can help. This Sunday, of course, we're going to do a special backer pause edition of the Sunday Comics Brunch. We're going to be talking about crowdfunding the whole day, and we'll be. I mean, if the Kickstarter gods let us, we will launch straight from that program at the very beginning of the show. Sometimes you hit that button, and all of a sudden it's like something's wrong. Let me go back and look. It's like shipping's wrong on one of them. So hopefully, and there's no test button. Like they haven't made a button where you can hit test, see if there's a mistake. No. Like even the launching of a space shuttle has a test button. Why don't you, Kickstarter? Why don't you? But with that, we're going to let you enter the killing fields. We'll see you at 11 on Sunday.
A group of heroes supercharged with Nephilim DNA are the only thing standing in the way of an evil corporation at the center of a human trafficking ring and elite drug empire. The danger ramps up when a deadly trap is set for our protagonist. It's an epic clash of good versus evil when they meet on the killing field. Be sure to check out the action and get part 1 of the killing field during this 28-day event exclusively on Indiegogo.